အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါ MT Mobile Recap Channel လေးကနေပြန်လည်ကြိုဆိုလိုက်ပါတယ်ဒီကနေ့မှာတော့အရှင်ပညာကာရရဲ့ interview အပိုင်းတက်ကနေပြီးတော့ station D ကိုဘာသာပြပေးမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီဗီဒီယိုလေးမှာအရှင်ပညာကာရဟာပတ်တကူသင်္ကန်းကိုဘာကြောင့်ဝတ်ဆင်ရလဲဘလို့ထုတ်လုပ်ထားရလဲဆိုတာကိုပြပြပေးတာကိုဘာသာပြပေးမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အိန္ဒိယခီးစဉ်မှာအလောကနဲ့ဘလို့ဆုံခဲ့ရတယ်ဆိုတာကိုဆရာတော်ကအပြည့်စုံပြောပြလာတဲ့အကြောင်းကိုလည်းဘာသာပြန်ပေးထားရပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်အားလုံးတူတူကြည့်အောင်ပါ
And is that Aloka whining in the background?
He is.
Any chance we can get him on screen really quickly to say hello, or is he too far away?
Aloka. Aloka, come. Wait, right here. Okay.
All right. Hey, Aloka. Hey.
Aloka.
We're all shy.
Say hi to that woman. William, say hi. Okay. Okay.
Well trained and so much meta.
Sit down.
But we're gonna have to ask about your story with him as well.
Sit down. Okay. Sit. He's very active.
Yeah.
And he wants to go out, that's why. Go sit down. Sit. Sit down. Okay, good boy.
Yeah, thank you, Bante. Yeah, curious. I mean, the vows that you're talking about now, and Ajahn Nisabo and I, and some of the other clear mountaineers have all been to Bodh Gaya and made similar. We made our own vows, which kind of have made sense to us. And the vows that you're talking about, the vows to make these monuments, the Tripitaka, scriptural monuments, and vows to walk to Washington D.C. They're very big. But it seems like you also have other more day-to-day vows. Like I think one of the things, I've had family members who are not Buddhists at all, but just saw you on social media, and they're one of the first things they say is, how come your robes aren't so cool, Kovilo? You do have very cool robes, and I do at times have some patch envy. But
Got one.
I got some too. But could you talk about that? Just the vows. What is Tudong, and what does your robe not only represent, but how long have you had it? And what is this practice of Tudong and keeping a pangsakula or rag robe?
Yes. This robe right here, I showed it in India in the walk of 112 days where I met Aloka in 2022. And so by that time, I still remember that the assistant of the leader of that walk in India, he also wear this robe. He showed it himself. He collected fabrics from the cremation place and along the road, and he showed it. And he wear those robes for about 12 to 13 years already. And just one set of rope, and he kept doing that. And so this is something that I have I wanted to do for a long time, but I never have a chance, because staying here in the United States, we wear the same robe as my teachers, which is the red one. And when I had a chance in 2022, after my vow about the Dhammacharya got announced publicly, then I get a chance to go on the Tudong. That is the first Tudong trip that I got to join. And when I go there, and I also thinking that I will collect fabrics and then I'll make a robe like this myself. And I did get all the fabrics from trash place, and from the brother monks who their robes are old and they don't use it anymore. So I asked for those, and then collect here and there. I still remember one piece of the fabric is by the Gangchi River. Me and my brother monk, we both saw one of the white fabric, and we both rushed down and then pick it up. He hold one side and I hold one side, and I look at him and he look at me and smile, and I let him have it. But then those fabric cannot be used. Nowadays, their fabric is very thin and like silk. It's not like this type of fabric, so it cannot be used. And so collected, and then everywhere we go, when there's a tailor shop, and I go there and ask for the machine to show it together with all these stitches. It takes a long time to do this. It takes so much long because these are so many layers here. With this, it's like 2-3 layers. So without showing this line right here, it cannot stay together. It's always like this. So it's very difficult to wear. That's why you can see many lines, many stitches to stick them together. Since 2022 up until now, when I come back to the temple and I put it away because I made a vow that I only wear this when I go on a walk on the Tudong. Other than that, normal day, then I just use my regular robe. And this is where it came from, and I got my whole set, 3 pieces, fixing and putting together. Unfortunately, these cannot be dyed. I tried to dye it in one color, but these are different type of fabric.
Right.
So when we both try to cook a really big pot of color and dye in color, and we try to dye it because we have to have one color, right? It cannot be so many colors like this, but it didn't work out. So time is rushing, so we have to wear like this. But luckily, it's not too obvious with this color. These colors are still matching with all our allowed robe, right? Colors. It's not too obvious, but I definitely will get some other fabrics that be able to dye it and replace this, right? And wearing these, I feel like because they are thick enough. The sangati is about 5 layers. It's super heavy. I remember in India when we walk and we caught in a rain, it's soaking wet, and then it's way heavier than normal, right? And then we walk every day like 30 miles per day, and so it wears out a lot already. Plus the rope and the bags and the bow, so it's way heavy. It's like some monks putting rocks in my bowl or something.
Well, I was happy for you. So the Sangati is the one that goes over your shoulder, where in America it has all of the pins from the different sheriffs and towns. And I was very happy that it looks so thick. I mean, ours probably weigh maybe like 1/10 or at least a quarter of what yours weigh. But I was happy because you're sleeping outside, and it's basically a blanket, a full blanket.
It is. I'm grateful that we have this rope, and the sangati is thick enough for us because it's super cold. Sometimes you saw us wearing like the beanie, is it called? Hat, and wearing socks and things like that because it's freezing. So we have to adapt to the weather. Otherwise, when we walk, we cannot cover that sangati like normal, when we stay at one place. So we have to adapt to the weather, try to keep us safe to continue moving on. And that sangati, when added those pins on, it's like double. It's very heavy. Yeah. And I try to keep this robe, still wearing this robe because I'll be going to Sri Lanka soon. We will have a short waffle piece in Sri Lanka for about 5 or 6 days before receiving the Buddha relics, trying to cultivate some merits to handle the relics back to United States.
Bhante, speaking of your trip to India, would you mind telling us about how you met Aloka and how he came back with you?
Day 6 of that journey from Kolkata, India, there was so many dogs that follow us, right? but like couple hours and 1 or 2 days, they all quit. Aloka follows on day 6, but he was same as the other stray dog around. In India, a lot of stray dog. It's almost everywhere. And so he saw us walk, and then he just followed at the beginning. He also hesitated to get closer to the monks too. But then when we feed him with cookies and things like that and snacks, and he continue following day after days, and then he get used to us already, and we build trust in each other, and he followed me. He followed the monks, and I took care of him really well every day. When he see mud, when he see like dirty water, he just sunken himself down there. So his body is always dirty every single day. And he encountered a lot of fight too, stray dogs. He, being a stray dog, I believe that he have to protect himself. That is why when there's dogs around, and he always attack and try to protect himself and the monks. So he encountered a lot of fight, and also got into a car accident once. The car hit him really bad, like 10 meters away, flew 10 meters away. And so, but he still survived, and he got into like a really bad condition, illness, vomiting, diarrhea, coughing, and his nose always stuck with mucus and things like that, so he cannot breathe. By that time, I thought he's gonna die because no vet, no medicine at all, right? Sometime when I try myself to look for a vet, but the doctor, when trying to give him injection, use the needle and poke into his leg, and then the needle is like straight like it bent like this. The vet took out and then straightened it out and poked it in again. I was like, really, is this something? This is abnormal at all. So keep doing that for 5 different vets, and he's still unrecovered. And then finally, by the border of India and Nepal, he was really in a bad condition. His body starts to smell and very cold. So I believe that he's dying. And I carry him in my arm and walk around by the village, by the markets, and asking for vet. When I talk in English, they respond in Hindi, so I didn't know what they're saying. Luckily, I found one of the company, and they speak English, and they help to locate the vet. And we found one of the vet. I took him there. The vet gave him injection and medication and things like that. But before that, before we met with the vet, I took off because he was in that building, so I think he's safe. So I went to get some stuff, and then when I returned, he wasn't there. He wasn't there, and then I asked the owner, and they say no, they didn't see him. They didn't realize that he left. And so we look around, but we couldn't find him. So I thought, where could he go? Because he cannot walk that far, right? And I was thinking, he might go back to the immigrant's office, because that is where we started out to go look for a vet, right? That is when I pick him up and carry him in my arm and walk around. And I walked back to that immigration office, and he was lying there waiting for me. And I call Aloka, and he starts to stand up and then happy, and I'd come to pick him up and go see the vet. That is when I remember is the most stood out to me, because he's very smart. He thought that I left him or something, right? And so we be able to shift him. And after a long journey, I think that almost come to an end, and I think that he deserved better. If I leave him there at the both Gaia, then he will go back to his old day, which is being a stray dog again. And I don't want that. And I keep on checking and asking, how can I bring him to America? And animal in India coming to United States is red flag. It's not allowed. So after a long time consulting and then working with different companies, and we finally got him all kind of vaccines and everything, prepare himself, and $14,000 for him to fly from India to here after all the documents and everything in a cargo airplane, cargo compartment. And he flew on a different airplane, and I go on a different one. And when he got to JFK, New York, he got there and quarantined for 28 days. 28 days there. And then after that, we went there to pick him up, to bring him by road to our monastery, a long journey of driving. And he became U.S. citizen just like that. And that $14,000 is actually supported by our volunteers, our people here. When they heard that I want to bring Aloka to United States, they just cook, vegetarian food, and they cook and sell it to fundraise for Aloka. And they got that amount of money to pay for Aloka to come to the United States. So he came to the United States, and then he messed up my cootie. Yeah, Aloka is like that.
Wow. Yeah, talk about a lot of merit. That's impressive.
So many people tell us that some of your people be some of them are by sign and abase. Empty mobile channel you subscribe to bigger down so biase. The set to our empty web para all of Jesus generation.